Self-esteem is one of the most corrupted teachings in our culture. Now, I know that's a heavy way to start a teenage devotion, but it's true. And in this video, I want to walk through this idea of self-esteem. And what I don't want you to hear is that you should unlove yourself. You should never hate yourself because you are a unique individual made in God's image. But here's the problem. Imagine if you had no relationship with God, or if you had a weak relationship with God, and the only thing that you knew was to esteem yourself or to think highly of yourself. There's no biblical context to love God and love others more. Well, then self-esteem becomes a recipe for disaster. And so in this video, I want to address this confusing cultural message of self-esteem. Hello everyone, Rick Thomas here. We're helping people live effective lives. Self-esteem, a very basic definition, is esteeming yourself. And as I've said, you should never hate yourself. And if you do hate yourself, then please find someone that you can talk to, because that is not how you should be thinking about yourself. But as you love yourself, as you care for yourself or take care of yourself, or even as you esteem yourself, if you want to use that language, you have to think humbly and wisely about how and why you love yourself. And to do this, you want to make sure that your primary focus is in line with the two great commandments in Matthew 22, 36 through 40, which you probably know. You could sum it up in 4 words: love God and love others. The Bible teaches the wisdom in turning your thoughts from yourself while counting others more significant, as Paul taught in Philippians chapter 2. Biblical success has an other-centered quality to it. Do not fall into the self-esteem trap. Focus on serving God and accomplishing things for the benefit of those around you. You see, our temptation will always be self-focus. And as the unfavorable circumstances mount around us, the easiest thing to do is to turn inward. And I don't want you to do that. Now, perhaps as a teen, maybe you haven't been led well. Maybe you haven't had excellent mentors in your life, and it tempts you to turn inward and to be consumed with your thoughts about yourself. I mean, that was my story. As my parents were weak leaders, to put it mildly, they abused me, they abandoned me. I was the proverbial dog that was thrown into the pond and told to sink or swim. And by the way, both of those are really negative outcomes. Sink, well, that's obvious. But if I learn how to swim, then I become a self-reliant individual, a person who can only depend on himself, which only increases my self-focus. It was not until I was 25 years old before I began to learn how my best life was in someone else, not in my self-reliant self. That was the day I submitted my life to Christ. I quit complaining about my unpleasant circumstances. I accepted my responsibility to change. The Lord saved me, and that has made all the difference. If you want to be somebody, and I trust you do, then give your life to Christ. Let Him do for you what you cannot do for yourself. And rather than expecting others to make you feel better about yourself, find your feel-good in Jesus. Serving God and serving others is the antidote to feeling better about yourself. The more you try to satisfy yourself through any other means, like esteeming yourself, the deeper in despair you will go. And so the title of this video is Forget About Self-Esteem. Now, here's two questions I want you to reflect upon as you think about this video. Number one, how has the self-esteem worldview affected you? If you need someone to talk to about that, please find a mentor in your life who would be willing to help you to think through that question. If we can serve you that way, we would love to do that. You can jump on our community forums and we'll be glad to interact with you about this idea of self-esteem and how it's affected you, assuming it has and you want to discuss it. And then question number two, how do you think finding your identity in Christ will change what you need and how you believe about yourself? Trust me, as Christ begins to be the command of your life, as He begins to take over your life, it will change this idea of what you need and how you believe about yourself, and you'll begin to be freed from the bondage that you could be in, and you be released to go and serve God, serve others, love others more than yourself, and you will find that it will give you the most fulfilling and satisfied life that you could possibly have. Now again, if you do want to talk about this idea of self-esteem, please jump on our website, rickthomas.net. We have free community forums that are provided for you by the folks who support this ministry, and so let us serve you. Also, if you like this video and benefit from it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also share this video with a friend. Thank you so much for watching.